Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. So this one is about my yearly reading system, I guess. I did the whole having a monthly reading in an envelope last year, and it worked out really well, I think. It worked out much better than the previous year when I did a whole reading, made notes about it, and then I knew about what I was pulling for each month, because I think around summer, around the 6 months mark, things started to change too much, and the readings from then on just didn't line up with what I had in the cards. And I think it's because I knew what was coming, and subconsciously I changed things because I thought that those are gonna be the ones that are leading me down a path of what was supposed to be waiting for me at the end of the year, because it was supposed to be a really good one, and it didn't turn out that way. That was like a previous year. So I decided to do the whole let's put everything in an envelope kind of a shebang, and that worked so much well, to be honest. So at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it again, but then I was like, but I don't want to do it, because what I wasn't thinking about when I selected the decks that I was working with, because I just went with something that I really loved, the Smoke Ash and Embers, something that was cool, the Star Codes Astro, Oracle, and something that I wanted to learn, the Lenormand. And I wasn't thinking about that if I chose these two decks for a yearly reading that's gonna be in an envelope for a whole year, that means that I'm not gonna be able to use them for a whole year. And obviously after a few months I was like, but I miss these decks, I want to use them. And so that's why I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do this for this year. And I pulled already cards for January, but it doesn't feel like it's as good as it would have been if I did this in an envelope system. So I changed my mind, and I'm gonna do it for the rest of the year. And I'm not gonna using any of these decks. I miss this one so badly. And this one, of course, my dragon deck. Like, what did I do to myself? So these are not gonna be amongst the selection. And okay, Lenormand. My problem with how I did it was I pulled one card. And because, you know, I'm coming from a tarot perspective, one card is enough. It's already hard to know, like, how to. I struggle with reading Lenormand. I'm getting better at it, but it's not easy because I had one card and I was like, okay, I made a mistake, I should have pulled more, but I only have one deck. And then I was like, how to do that, you know, next year, because then I'm like, I don't think that the Lenormand strength is in pulling you know, just one card from like from one deck for each month. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of using this big one, I have a homemade tiny one. And what I was thinking, because I'm still not, you know, like familiar with Lenormand meanings, and especially if there are multiple cards. So this is gonna be the only one that where I know what I'm gonna be pulling. Because I know I'm gonna forget it. Just let's be honest. I'm not gonna remember that I pulled like the heart, the moon, and the star for, I don't know, August. It's gonna go away. So what I wanna do is, when I'm like done with pulling for the 12 envelopes, I'm gonna just get a piece of paper, pull 3 cards, jot down the numbers, and, you know, like re-pull them, so to speak, when the month comes. Because I think that could work like well. We're gonna see. And another one is, you could ask if you're, you know, like a long-time tarot friend here, like, Orshi, you have a bunch of prototypes. You had the prototype from this deck. Why did you not use that one? And then I can only say that because I'm an idiot and I forgot. Because yes, I do have the prototype for the Smoke Ash and Embers, and I even, you know, like rounded the corners. But I you know, it's a prized possession. It's not in. This is the extra, yeah, 10 of Swords. It's not in, you know, like on display. It's tucked away safely to be, you know, like like, you know, insane. I wanted to keep it safe, and I completely forgot that I could just do that, because I was looking at that the cards coming up every month, and I was like, but I missed the deck because it's not the same paper. So, you know, I missed the tactile experience of the original one. But I can just do that for each month, pull more than one card if I have the prototype. So yes, I'm an idiot, of course, obviously. But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use the prototype of the Smoke Ash and Embers and the... Oh, this is the Heartwood, right? I didn't round the corners because I would lose precious artwork. Plus, it kind of looks cool, yeah, you know, without the rounding. And I also ordered the new edition of the Smoke Ash and Ember, so I will have 2 decks to play with instead of 1. You know, I'm making up for the lost time. Which means I could use the original one, but I don't want to. I miss handling that deck. So yeah, these 2 are gonna be my main tarot decks for those envelopes. Again, don't ask me why. I still want to add something new, so I'm gonna have more tarot decks, not just 1 this year. But because I have the Exile tarot in 2 edition, the Awaken and the Silent, and I'm more drawn to the Silent anyway, because, you know, it's shadow work. I think I'm gonna be good with having the Silent one in this selection for a year. So I will have 3 tarot decks. And I don't know how many cards I'm gonna pull, to be honest. Logically, I would say 1, but I kind of want bigger readings this year. I don't know, maybe it's because my sister started to read tarot and she's doing this whole big spread thing all the time, and I'm kind of like, it looks fun. So maybe I'm gonna read it just like, you know, shuffling as much cards like falls out. I'm gonna be using those. We will see. And I'm gonna have 3 oracles. Again, a prototype, because I have a prototype of the Thistledown Oracle as well. So obviously, again, I'm an idiot, but I'm gonna be using this one. I need to put these separately. So Thistledown, it's gonna be very nice, you know, like very fitting. But because I want more and I'm greedy, or I don't know. It worked well with only a few cards last year, so I'm not doing it because it didn't work well. It's just that I think I want to use more decks. I recently got back the Everyday Witch Oracle. I don't have the tarot anymore, which I'm going back and forth. I mean, I sold the deck, but maybe I don't know if I regretted it or not, to be honest. I saw the mini one, but it's because it was just too small, you know, the artwork. It works better in a bigger card, I think. And I sold it to someone that I know who has a great connection with the deck, so, you know, it was easy. But I don't really mind not having this one for a whole year. But it would be lovely to see these cards in readings, so I don't know if I want, you know, like have a main energy card, and that could be the Everyday Witch Oracle, or not. I don't know how I'm gonna set up the whole thing. And the next one is something that I need to check if my sister is using her deck, because she has one. Because if she's not, and she can lend that deck for me, to me, for, well, not for a year, but, you know, maybe sometimes when I need it, then I might want to use this one, because this is such a great deck, and I think it would be so useful to have a card or 2 from this one. But I use it a lot in readings, in videos, so I don't necessarily want to be without it for a year. So I will check with my sister, because if she doesn't really use it, and I can't remember if she's using it or not, to be honest, then I can just snag it. So yeah, I have multiple decks. And I'm gonna go ahead and put them in envelopes and see how they turn out. Do you have a like experience with this whole envelope thing, or which one of the yearly readings, like which style, which system works well for you? Because I'm always like happy to try something out, and build on previous experience. So do let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, and see you in the next one. Bye.